Howdy folks, this is Hal, your friendly geology instructor, and today we're going to learn about springs. So let me give you some background. We are currently near Collier Cone, which is by North Sister Volcano, and this is incredibly volcanic terrain, and that's going to be important in understanding why there's a spring here. So I've got two objectives for us. The first is to simply learn to recognize what a spring looks like. And then the second is to try to explain why springs exist in the first place. So let's take a look at the spring. So you guys can see there's some water there. We're in a meadow, it's beautiful. And that meadow ends abruptly right here. No water above this. This water is not coming from uphill. But when we zoom in here, we will see that there's actually a spring bubbling out of the ground here. So this might be a little challenging. Let's see, try to give it some shade. But what I want you to focus on is that there are rocks that are moving underwater. The rocks are literally bubbling around and moving. So the reason they're doing that, the reason the rocks are suspended in the water and going up is because there's water bubbling out from underneath this rock. I'm trying to point at it with this little green stalk of grass. So hopefully you guys can see all those rocks that are bubbling up and down. Okay, so that's what a spring looks like. It's simply water coming out of the ground. Water coming out of the ground, that's a spring. Why do they exist? That has to do with what happens when it rains or snows higher up on the volcano. That water's got to go somewhere. Some of it goes down into the ground. So if we look over here, that's a scree field, meaning it's just lots of loose rock. Pretty typical on a volcano. It's really easy for the water to work its way down through those rocks. It goes down, 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 and eventually it comes out. When it comes out, that's what we call a spring. So what's cool about this water that is bubbling out right here might have fallen as snowfall a year ago, 10 years ago, 100 years ago. And just today it's popping out to the surface, which is why people like drinking from them, because we can infer that that water's been very well filtered by going through all that rock. All right, I've blabbed enough about springs. Go find one. They're cool.